that YouTube is doing live. Asking because I'm also streaming on YouTube right now. Apparently it's getting bigger. But the quality isn't the best. Okay, there's a bit of a glare. That's worrisome. It's gonna be okay if there is a glare. Oops. If you're here, type in the comments here. Let me turn that down. Okay. Almost there. Almost there. Closer, closer, closer. All right. Now, like I said, today we are talking about the hit and run. Okay? So let's get that going. 1 second. Almost there. Closer, closer. Remember, this live is all about baseball and softball. Okay? So if you're not into baseball and softball, that's okay. Maybe you will get into it. I am streaming on YouTube as well, which is new for me. But it's supposed to be better than all the rest. Okay. So let's get into this. Hit and run. Okay. I'm just going to see if you can see that all right. And you can. I do have a goal of trying to go live every day. And yeah, maybe for this month or next month. I don't know. Do you have any suggestions? I am new to going live, so any help will do. All right. So we're going to have 4 categories, and I'll put them over here for people in the parking lot. Okay. Is anybody here? Thank you, Cats Lock, for joining. You are loved. Okay. So let's get the parking lot going. What color should we use for the parking lot today? Let's go with orange for the parking lot. Bear with me as I'm also live on YouTube. Okay, so here we got the parking lot. And it's going to show people that are just coming in or people that, oops. Oh gosh, what did I do here? I also have a new light. Okay, that's good. A little bit over. Okay. So it's going to show people that are just coming in what we've been working on and what we'll move forward with. Okay, so the parking lot, we are talking about the hit and run today. Let's go brown. We have brown, yes. Oui. Hello, Carlitos. How are you today? So the parking lot, today we're talking about, the topic is hit and run. Not hit and run with a car, but hit and run with baseball and softball, okay? So remember, this live is all about baseball and softball plays. And if you're on YouTube, sorry about the glare, but I will work on fixing that. So yeah, this is all about baseball and softball. And with the 12 signs on offense, today we're going for the hit and run, okay? So the topic is hit and run. And we're going to have 4 categories for this, okay? So the first one, let me get my notes back up. Excuse me. Okay, so the hitter must make contact, okay? Batter must, can you see that okay, guys? Make contact with the ball. Okay? So hitters, you must make contact with the ball. That's number 1. And I'm going to get all into this very deeply coming up. So you're going to have a runner stealing. And they want to take a peek, okay? And I'll get more into that. Number 3 is you want your batter hit to the shortstop, okay? And why do you think, before I even go there, why do you think? And then lastly, you want your batter, the person that just hit, keep running all the way to third, okay? Batter up, run 2, 3, okay? Third. Let's see if you guys can read that. I'll look here. Yeah, that looks halfway decent. Okay, good. So back to black we go. Now let's get, hello Joseph, how are you today? So let's go with number 1. Here we go. Number 1, and I will do some diagrams and stuff over here. I'm on YouTube as well, so bear with me, TikTok, because yeah, love it. How's everyone's day going? Are you being productive? I also have another page. I won't get too much into that detail to keep it on topic, but Joseph A.T. Yuki, am I saying it right? Okay, so you want your hitter must make contact, okay? Let's call it batter, just to be appropriate. Batter must, make contact, okay? Tact. Okay? The batter must make contact for the hit and run. Why do you think? Well, because this runner at first base is stealing, okay? You can only do the hit and run if you have a runner at first. You can only do the hit and run with a runner at first. So let's put that over here. Must have, or let's say, need base runner. Where? Okay. At first base. So there's a bullet, which is good. You can't really see that, huh, guys? Hang on, guys. Let me redo that. Actually, we'll live with that, okay? So the batter must make contact because this guy here is running, or girl. And how do they make contact? Let's get into that. Have your players, and we'll make stars today, move up in the box. Move up in the box. Shorten up their stance. Okay. Hello, welcome if you're just joining. This page is all about baseball and softball, making plays. And right now we are discussing the hit. Whoa, Nelly. The hit and run. Okay? And the play is just like it sounds. You must say to hit and run. So number 2, you want to have your batter shorten their stance. Okay? So the way to do that, it's actually funny because you want to get their feet wider. Okay, and then they're going to shorten their body. It shrinks the strike zone. Okay? So move up in the box, shorten up, as we call it. It's the opposite, though, because they're going to widen their stance, okay? Or widen stance. You're going to have no step here, okay? No step. Widen stance. And lastly, you're going to have your batters choke up. And that's choke up on the bat, okay? So here is widen stance. And I'll go into another color. No step when they swing, okay? Oops, I forgot to record. Hang on one second, guys. Let me get my screen record on. Welcome if you're just joining. I'm using my back camera, so I can't really see who's here or not. Oh my God. Hang on, guys. I'm trying to screen record. Batter up. 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Whoops. Okay. Looking good. Okay. So with that being said, I'm not sure who's here, but welcome if you're just getting here. And if you've been here, thanks for watching. Hello, user 599, welcome. This is a baseball and softball channel, and we are talking about the hit and run today. And I just got finished covering topic 1. Let's give it a check mark. Do we have yellow? Let's see if there's yellow. There's kind of like a greenish. Let's use this purple. Okay. When we get done with this category, we're done. Give it a check. Give me a check. Okay. So to finish up on that, welcome Diablings. Hello. So with a hit and run, the batter must make contact there. Okay. Have them, in order to make contact, have them move up in the box. Okay. And what we're doing is we're shortening the strike zone here, okay? So you move up in the box. Well, let me get my blue. Blue. Sorry. So we are shortening up. We are shrinking, my bad. We are shrinking strike zone. With these 3 things, we're shrinking the strike zone, okay? So move up in the box, shorten up the stance, and choke up, okay? So you're going to move up, shorten up, choke up. Now, just as a quick example, before I move on to number 2, if here's the batter's box, I am working on that, okay? And here's home plate. Whoa. I guess that's going to be a lefty for right now, okay? So here's the batter's box. Usually, you would have your batters where? Tell me in the comments. Hello, Tony R. Welcome. You would usually have your batters with their 2 feet. The red is going to signify their foot number 1 and foot number 2. Okay? Usually, that's where your batters would stand. For this instance, we're going to, let's use something bright. Let's go bright blue. Okay? For this, hello, Jose Martinez. If you're just joining, remember this is a baseball and softball channel. And today we're talking about the hit and run. So instead of being here, you're going to get your batter's feet here. See how close they are? And here. Okay? They are at the front of the box, close to home plate. If some kids or people might get strange about that, but as close to home plate as they can get. Or I'm sorry, close to this line here as they can get. All right? And then you're going to shorten up your stance. Notice here, the stance is much wider than here. Okay? All right, so we're going to go with this stance here. Okay? And then lastly, choke up on the bat. I just got finished teaching all about the slap and run. And the majority of that is centered around shortening up the stance. There were some topics there that it was illegal, so I thought you can either do a hit and run or a slap and run here. All right, so good, we're done with that. And let's move on to topic number 2. So we'll leave here. We need a base runner. Oh my God, I think that's bleach. Woo, that is some stinky stuff. All right. La-di-da. Let me know in the comments if you're a coach or a player, or if you don't even like baseball and softball, but you just like hearing me talk. Either one would go good with me. And thank you so much for being here. Okay. So continuing on with the hit and run. Now let's move to topic 2. Where's my black? Yeah, I don't know if you guys have kids, but my nieces and nephews. Hey, Bombshell 88, welcome. Hey, Andrea R. My nieces and nephews are very obsessed with Mr. Black, or they're under 10 years old. I don't know if you guys have heard of these characters, but so anytime I see the black word or black, I'm thinking Mr. Black. Anyway, so hit and run. Let's move on to number 2. Number 2, okay? Now your runner, remember, you have to have the runner at first. So with that being said, your runner is stealing, okay? Your runner is stealing. Oh, let me get my notes here. Remember, I am live on YouTube as well. Oops. Sorry, guys, I'm just getting my notes. Okay, so you want your runner stealing. The runner at first, stealing. Okay. So that runner is going to be stealing. Now here what we want to do is make sure always you're going to have your base runners get a good jump, okay? So if you're talking softball, you're going to leave at contact, okay? So runner, here we go. I'll keep it here, okay? So let's use stars again, unless someone has a shape they like more. So have your runner get a good jump. Let's say, I say good because it means on time, and leave a little early. Okay? Not a lot early. Just a little early. Okay? So runner, leave a little early. Let me tell you one thing. Of my many years, I have over 100,000 hours of coaching and playing softball and being out there just 24/7. The umpires are not really they don't have an eagle eye on your runners. So make sure you teach your kids to leave right on time or just a little bit early, maybe when the pitcher's arm is by their hips. This is going to teach them to really just be more on time. When you process the fact that, remember, they still have to process that they need to leave. So most things are going to be late in athletics, especially with people 18 and under. So have them try to leave early. Now remember, if you're just joining, this is a page about baseball and softball. So today we're talking about the hit and run, and right now we're on topic 2, and that runner is going to be stealing. Remember, you're going to need a runner at first base to run this play. This is one of the great plays if your coach has a good eye on when to call it, okay? So, runner, leave early, get a good jump and leave early. Hello, CCK, welcome. Like I was just saying, this is a baseball and softball page, and today we're talking about the hit and run. Not hit and run with a car, but hit and run with baseball and softball. Okay? Now here on my notes it says, have them take a quick peek. Okay? Take a peek when they're halfway. Whoops. Do you guys understand peek, or would it rather it say look? Peek or look, which works best for you? Take a peek. Take a peek, 25% off the bag, okay? And I'll draw a small diagram here. Remember, I was just saying that this live, this live is all about baseball and softball, this channel. I'm also live on YouTube. So welcome if you're just joining. If you are into baseball and softball, then you're in the right place. If you're not and you want to stay around just to hear me talk, that'd be great too. I also do mortgages all around the country. I'm in the USA. And I have another channel dedicated just to mortgages, which you can tune into. I believe the page is called Mortgage in a Minute. So if you're a fan of me, then I'm a fan of you, and we'll keep it moving. All right. So remember, 25% off the base for the runner stealing. They're going to take a peek. So let's say here's your softball field. You have third base, second base, first base, and home plate, okay? Is that a good diagram, guys? Let me know in the comments. I like it. Okay? So here's first base. So I'll put first, second, and third, okay? Now remember, you have a runner at first base here. Okay, there's your runner. You want, when this runner gets about right here, 25% of the way, you want them taking a peek at the batter, because guess what? When the hit and run is on, your batter is forced to hit any pitch, okay? They have to swing at that pitch. So oftentimes what we're looking for is a ground ball to shortstop, which I'll get into next, but sometimes they will pop it up or they'll swing and miss. So you at least want, and I'm talking about a peek like this quick, okay? Do it at home if you can. Very quick, a little peek. Hello, Vivi. Welcome. Like I was saying, this is all about baseball and softball. So if you don't like baseball and softball, that's okay. Stay around. Maybe you will like it, okay? And we're not just all jocks and stuff like that. We're very cool and fun. All right. So have your runner take a peek and get a good jump. Let's go ahead and say we got done with this. Let's get our perp. Hello, 208 Squirrel. Welcome. I need my purple marker. Got it. Okay. So we got that. Runner stealing. Next, let's go. We're going to move into where, hello, YouTube, where you want your runner hitting, okay? Listen, if you don't have a base runner at first, you can't run this play, guys. But let me guarantee you one thing. This is one of the better plays to have in your playbook, okay? This is one of the better plays to have in your playbook because you're taking control. Oh my gosh. Whoopsies. I'll have to rewrite that. You're taking control as the coach and kind of taking it out of the batter's hands. Some players may feel relief from that. Some may not. You know, that depends on the kid. But also, if you're an adult playing, because I believe all kinds of people are on TikTok and YouTube, that's a sigh of relief, okay? You don't have to really think anymore. You just got to hit the ball to shortstop. That's it. A lot of times you get up there. Welcome, ECO. A lot of times players get up there and they don't really have a good plan, okay? So this gives players a plan and something easy to execute. All right, so we got number 2 done. So 3, let's go ahead and hit it. Remember, this is a page all about baseball and softball. And today we're talking about the hit and run. I've already made a post or 2 about that. And yeah, so stick around. If you're not into baseball and softball, that's okay. Maybe you will be after today. And yeah. So here's the parking lot. We've already covered what the batter must do and what the runner must do. Remember, you need a runner at first base to run the hit and run. Okay? Oh! Oh my gosh, guys. I'm okay. Sorry about that. Whoa. Okay, I think did I break it? Hang on, guys. Okay, we're back. Woo! Now, if you're there for that, fun stuff happens here on TikTok Live. So stick around. Hang on, let me make sure this is squared up. Hello, Brian, welcome. Okay, we're good. Oopsies. Okay, so you want them, whoop, my parking lot got messed up. Upon the fall, the great fall of September 21st. Batter runs to third, okay? All right, so let's move on, number 3. So you want them to hit to shortstop. All right? Now, with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and draw a little bit of a diagram. Okay. What kind of hit do you want? To shortstop. You want a ground ball to shortstop, okay, guys? All right, so you want a ground ball to shortstop. Let's go this really pretty purple color. So we want a ground ball. Okay? Because remember, and I'm going to draw it right here for y'all. Let's get this pretty green color. So if you have the field, I'm going to make, actually we'll go black. I was just saying that my nieces and nephews they like Mr. Black. I don't know if you guys have kids or around kids, but they are super into that Sprunky and all that stuff. Second base, third base. Okay, let's go first base here. Sorry about the dimension, but and third base here. So here's your shortstop, and here is the plate, okay? And there's the pitcher's mound. Can you guys see that okay? Let me know if I can make a difference. All right, so here you have your shortstop. Let's go red. Oh, yes. Today is Monday, all day. So you have your shortstop here, shortstop, okay? Now remember, you're instructing the batter to hit a ground ball right to shortstop here. Okay, let's get this done. Uh-oh. We don't want another earthquake here. Okay, so that's where you want your hitter to hit the ball. Why? Because your runner, who's in blue, whoa. Remember, if you're just joining, welcome. This page is all about baseball and softball. And today we're talking about the hit and run, okay? So remember, this runner is stealing. Who covers the steal, guys? Okay, the shortstop. So with that being said, if the shortstop is covering the steal, no one will be at shortstop, okay? So let's erase them. Because guess what? The shortstop is going to be, at second base, okay? And a good shortstop is going to notice that runner stealing right before, remember, she's leaving early, or he, okay? So now shortstop is here. Remember, your runner is stealing. And your ball is going to be hit, what color can we use? Green, okay? And your hitter is going to hit that ground ball right here, okay? No one's there. It's a perfect play, okay? So this runner, actually I did make a mistake here. This is the runner is running to third. Welcome. And this is all about baseball and softball, this page. Right now we're talking about the hit and run, and we're on number 3 of the parking lot, okay? So here you're going to actually, this is the runner. I made a mistake there. The runner runs to third base, okay? Hey, William, 85, welcome, if you're still there. So your runner, and that's going to lead me to our first point, is running all the way, okay? So let's go ahead and get that out of the way. Where's my purple? How is everyone's day going? Tell me something exciting about your day in the comments, and I will give you a reward. But first, I gotta know what you like. I do often do mukbangs and stuff, just because when I gain another 100 followers, first of all, it's a reward for me to eat a yummy treat like Taco Bell or Raising Cane's, or we're getting a Zaxby's here close by, which is pretty decent. So I do other things than just talk about baseball and softball. And of course, I love music. Who doesn't? Okay, so that's going to lead us to our runner going all the way from first to third, okay? So let's get that up, and then I will talk about the game. Also, someone in the comments remind me to make my post. I need to make a post while live, is what I've heard is a good technique, okay? So we got number 3. Let's erase that. Doobie-doo. Oh. Okay. So number 4. My favorite number is, I don't know. But how about this? Let's pick a number 1 through 10. Let me know in the comments what I'm thinking. 1 through 10, what's the number I'm thinking? Hey, Lewis, how are you? Just to let you know, I am a baseball and softball content creator. And today we are talking about the hit and run. Right now we're on number 4 of the parking lot, okay? So runner, from first, you go all the way to third, okay? Let me get my notes. I'm also live on YouTube, which seems pretty good. Okay. So runner go all the way to third base. From first, so here your runners from first Your runner from first base, because remember you need that first to get there, okay? Runner from first runs first to third. So runs first to third, okay? And that's on the hit and run. So I'm going to go ahead and draw that, finish the diagram up. But remember, you want them at 100% speed, okay? So let's get our star, and then the star boy, 100% speed. Wait, oops, I missed something. Round the bag, so you're rounding this bag here at 100% speed, okay? What bag is this? Round second base at 100% speed, okay? This is so important because some runners, especially if you're working with people 18 and under, they're going to slow up at the base. Don't do that. Although this is not a live about base running, because that's one of my favorite topics in the game of baseball and softball. But here, so let's go ahead and do it. And then they're going to, of course, pick up the coach. Let's get rid of the shortstop here. Doody-doo-be-doo. What kind of music do you guys like? Let me know in the comments. For whatever reason, sports and hello, Isabel, welcome. Sports is closely related to music. I don't know why, but I like that. I'm very much into music, so that makes sense having a sports background. Okay, so with that being said, runner at first base, if you're just joining, this is all about baseball and softball. And today we're talking about the hit and run. In the parking lot, we're at number 4. Okay? So let's go. Blue is our runner. So they're going to start here. Remember, if you're a coach listening, you're going to be standing right here. This is going to be the coach's box here. Okay, so coach. Wonder if you could see that. It's probably going to be a little small. Okay, this says coach, C-O-A-C-H. So that's your coach's box right there. All right. So once you get that coach's box, at this point, your runner is going full speed. The way that I teach, base run, remember, they're stealing. They're going to make a small hump right here just to get behind the base and give them a straight shot to the next base, okay? I go into more detail about that on my page, but when they get to about 25% through this base, about here, they're going to want to pick up the coach, okay? So the coach is going to be like, stop, or come on, or like this, depending on what the batter did, okay? So they're going to run through it here. Here is where they pick up the coach. Hello, Yi, welcome. So here they're going to pick up the coach. And that's with their eyes. Pick up coach, okay? So about right here, they're going to pick up the coach. Pick up coach, okay? So, with that being said, that is our point number 4 in today's lesson, hit and run. I usually give a little bit, remember this page is all about baseball and softball. I was a teacher for over 10 years as well as being in softball for over 100,000 years. So I know lots about behavior and how kids work and how to shape the kids' behavior to what you want. And it's not necessarily difficult to do, but you have to have the information to do that. So at the end of each presentation, I usually give a brief behavioral thingy. So I might do that today. I'm trying to think about what, I think maybe the huddle, talking about the huddle, okay? Let me know if you have any ideas, if you have kids or you're a coach or teacher. What kind of behaviors do you see with your kids that you want to change? Or is it listening? Is it following directions? There's only a couple, okay? So I'll go into that a little bit. Hello, Marcella. Welcome. And I was just saying that this is all about baseball and softball. And today we're talking about the parking lot. And I think for number 5, we'll talk about our behavior topic. We'll talk about the 4 functions of behavior. So if you see one of your players or you're a parent, okay, and one of your kids at home is exhibiting, behavior you don't like, let's say, you can go really extreme with behaviors, or we can keep it mild. Let's say they are not listening, okay? So that could be a functional thing that they actually can't hear you, or they're ignoring you, which that's a behavior. There's only 4 reasons why children or people exhibit behaviors. So let's go ahead and get into that. Oh, my hair, I need to fix that. Hey, Juan, how are you? So number 5, we're going to add our behavior modification. Okay? So number 5, we're adding behavior modification. I thought that went really well on the topic of the hit and run. Like I said, this play is so crucial. You can see the big dogs in the MLB run this play all the time. Okay? Now, in terms of baseball and softball, what I see behavior-wise, especially with the hit and run and different things, is the coach will call a play and the player will ignore that call because they think, they don't think that they know better, but they want to do what they want to do. Okay? Before they got up to the plate, they were thinking, oh yeah, I can't wait to rip one. And they want to do what they want to do. They don't want to listen. That's the biggest thing that I see with players. So let's take that example. Okay, but you can apply this to across disciplines and in your household and stuff like that. Okay? So our behavior modification, we're going to talk about, because remember, you're going to have a difficult time, behavior mod, okay? You're going to have a difficult time teaching someone something if they aren't listening and they aren't paying attention, okay? So make sure, and I was one of those kids that I have to hear it again, and again I have to hear it 5 times. Okay, that's what, for whatever reason, your mind is somewhere, but it could be intentional. If it is intentional, there's a reason for that. Welcome, Miguel. This is a page about baseball and softball. And today we were talking about the hit and run. And the last topic, I usually do this at the end of each live, is I'll run through a little bit of a behavior modification, okay? To get your kids listening. Or whoever you're talking to. You want them to listen and comply, okay? So let's talk about that. So here's the situation. Let's go with purple. So here's the situation. Is you call the hit and run, okay? Coach calls a play. And I see this all the time as a coach and someone that teaches coaches in baseball and softball and other sports. I see this all the time. Coach calls a play and player doesn't do it. Let's say ignores the call, okay? in the world's going on here? Sorry about that, guys. TikTok live earthquake. Sorry about that, guys. I need to get that fixed. Okay. That looks good. So the coach, sorry about that. It's so exciting, right? Coach calls a play. I might get that fixed, so I might just leave it. And player ignores. I like this color, though. Ignores the call. All right? So what can you do? Because you don't want to stop the game, and you want to. You're mad. You're furious inside. You want to stop the game and pull that player out and sit them on the bench because you know they saw the sign they gave you or you gave them. You know they saw it and they said, I didn't see that. Oh, yes, you did. Okay. That's okay. You can't do that. You got to keep your cool, especially if you're a coach that gets paid. You have to keep your cool. If you're not, don't lose it. Okay. If you're a volunteer coach, try to reciprocate their behavior at first, ignore their, and I'll get into that later, but so the situation calls a play. What can we do? Okay, let's get them back into the green. What can we do? Right? And here I'm going to go into very quickly, hello Trisha, welcome, the 4 functions of behavior. Okay? So you have 4 functions of behavior. Or I can't fit that. Let's go down to the next. Has anyone heard this methodology, the 4 functions of behavior? If you have, or try to guess one. Remember, if you're any kind of a boss or a manager, you're dealing with people that are doing the same thing. They're ignoring your directions, okay? So get people to listen and solve the problems, move on to the next thing, because there's always going to be a next problem, a next thing to solve, another play, etc. Okay? So with knowing why people are behaving a certain way, we can eliminate those behaviors, okay? Let me real quick check on my YouTube. Okay. So this is an ABA concept. So the first function of behavior is escape. So we'll go 4 functions of behavior. Escape. So maybe if something's too loud, okay, they might escape that. Here, this is an escape behavior. They're ignoring that. So we've already identified it. The first one, we know they're escaping. Once we know why, we can figure out how to change that behavior, okay? So escape is 1. Attention, they could be doing it for attention. You just don't know. ATTENTION. Tangibles, they want something. Guys, this kind of stuff can change your life, okay? This kind of information. Tangibles and sensory, okay? So an example of sensory is they might need a certain sensory feeling, like a squeeze or a hug. Oftentimes with this situation, which one would you think it's going to be? Hello, Trisha. Welcome again. Remember, this is a page all about baseball and softball. Today, the topic was hit and run. At the end of every live, which is another reason why you should follow me here at Happy Dugout, at the end of every live, I talk about modifying behaviors and getting your players and your students, or if you're a manager, getting your employees to follow directions and kind of, get through the day. We do a behavior modification. Today's situation, hey Stephen, welcome. Today's situation is the coach, which is you and I, calls a play the hit and run, okay? Now, if they mess this one up, you're leaving your runner out to dry, which that's pretty wrong, all right? And the coach is disappointed, and frankly, everyone looks foolish, okay, because they missed that play. Mostly it's intentional, okay? The coach calls a play, the hit and run, and the player ignores the call. Okay? I was saying if you're a coach, remain cool, remain calm. Because I know especially the male coaches out there, and I've seen it, I've coached with, hey Alex, welcome, many dads, and they get mad so fast. Okay? They're already there volunteering their time, and you got a girl that she's got kind of a crap attitude and she ignores it. The first thing you want to do is keep your cool, okay? Remember that. First thing is first. First, keep your cool. Because you don't want to be looking stupid, okay? Keep your cool. That's the first thing you want to do, okay? Because sometimes, like we talked about the 4 functions of behavior, this player, she's needing attention, or he, okay? And in order to get that attention, it doesn't necessarily need to be positive. Someone screaming and yelling at you is the same feeling of getting a big hug. I'm not kidding, okay? So we need to figure out why. Hello, Amy Vargas, welcome. We need to figure out why they're ignoring you. Why do they ignore you? Okay? I think most times, now if they're saying, I didn't hear you, that's not sensory, or no, I didn't see the play, because normally, remember, you're calling a play like this. You're calling it in a small chance, maybe 90% of the time, they're just ignoring it. 10%, okay, you can give the kid the benefit of the doubt. She missed the sign. Okay, you missed the sign. It might happen one time in your season. Really, it's very rare, okay? So a lot of times that's attention. My biggest thing is that they're escaping that, okay? Let's get red. They're escaping what you said. And that's the next question you ask is, why are they escaping? Okay? A lot of times you can say, you're thinking like someone's leaving the room, they're escaping. That's one way to view it. That would be because it's too loud for someone, right? Or they feel uncomfortable, they need a break. But here, they're escaping, which is ignoring, is escape. Okay? So that's synonymous. Hello, welcome, Colson Party of 8. This is a page all about baseball and softball. Today, we've got the topic of hit and run. And I'm just here at the end of the parking lot talking about the behavior modification. When a kid ignores you and you're already out there coaching as a volunteer to piss you off, keep your cool. Okay, first of all, keep your cool. All right, come up with some kind of squeeze your hand method or something like that. But that player is escaping. The next thing, and this is when we get to our answer, this is our light bulb moment. Let's see, do we have yellow? There's no yellow. I need to talk to Expo about that, okay? But our big aha moment, and let's put that in purple. Why are they doing it? Now we know why. They're escaping the situation because they want to do their own thing. They want to hit, and they've ignored you. I said before, if they said they missed the sign that you gave them, almost 100% of the time that's a lie, and that's okay, all right? That's okay because they want to do what they want to do, okay? They're escaping. Hello, Tammy, welcome. They're escaping the situation because they want to hit. Player wants to do what they want to do, and most time they want to hit. They want to hit away, hit the ball. Don't tell me when to hit. It's your fault I struck out. You, okay? And that's just a kid. They're growing up. They're learning these lessons. So make sure you take that with a grain of salt with kids. And like I said, number one, hey, Sarah, welcome. You take it with a grain of salt, and you remember to keep your cool, number one. No matter what happens, because how many times have you seen, it's all over TikTok and Facebook and things like that, but parents that are coaching, they lose their cool and they look foolish, okay? So, again, If your player ignores you, there's a couple reasons why they might do that. I'm saying I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt. They're escaping that situation because they want to do what they want and they want to hit the ball. Okay? Another reason is they could be wanting attention. Okay, so if you keep your cool, they're not going to get that sensory feeling from you. So this is number one. Okay, we're on the same team. I'm a teacher of a coach, so I will always be on your side when it comes to that. And hopefully, parents, you are on the side of the educator. Mostly, I've only heard of a few instances where the player is usually in the wrong in this case, okay? So don't let them ignore you. Keep your cool, number one. Know why they're ignoring you, okay? They're escaping your call, the hit and run, to do what they want to do, okay? That's escape. They want to hit. Well, guess what? And what you can do, okay, to fix that, because you're saying, well, am I going to give them, you have two choices. You can give them a consequence, you can give them a reward, or you can do nothing, okay? So let's talk about that. I wish I had a separate whiteboard. So let's go up here. So let's go black. Any questions about the behavior modification and how our brains work? So here you have you have three options. One, punishment, okay? Two, reward. Three, do nothing. Okay? So again, if you return this ignore behavior and do nothing, a lot of times that's going to work. Okay? So then if you are a coach, and this is the example I'm giving. Oh, thanks for the follow, Sarah. Thank you so much. I'll follow back. If these are your three options from here, so we figured it out. If you're just joining, we're here down at behavior modification, and this is the play that we ran today. This is a softball and baseball page. Hello, Laced Up Jimbo. I'm curious about what your name means, so let me know in the comments. Okay, so we are at this stage in our topic of behavior modification. We have the situation, the coach calls a play and the player ignores it. It happens way too often. They want to do what they want. And we're talking about the first thing you want to do is keep your cool, okay? If you're a coach or you're a parent, because I know your blood's boiling, you've been through it all day, and then finally you're out here volunteering and doing the right thing, keep your cool, okay? Take a deep breath, squeeze your hands, keep your cool. So then the next thing you want to do, oh, my live is paused, hang on. Hang on, guys, I got low battery. Sorry about that, guys, I have low battery. Okay? So this is the first thing we're talking about. One, they ignore you. Two, we identify the function of the behavior. You identify the function. Three is the why. Okay? And four is your reaction. Okay, four is your reaction. Let me just put that. Number four, how are you going to react? You're going to get so good at this when you work with kids that, because a lot of times you have a knee-jerk reaction that you just blow up. Okay? You know they ignored you on purpose. They didn't do the right play. But guess what? You're going to keep your cool, okay? So that's number one, is keep your cool. Number two, what's the behavior function here? They're escaping. Why? Because they want to do what they want, okay? Are they trying to get attention from you? They ignored your sign because they want you to scream and yell at them. If you scream and yell at them, that's a reward, okay? Little do you know that you're rewarding their behavior by screaming and yelling. It's a relief for you too, I understand, okay? But there's other ways to decompress your anger, okay? So in this case, it's probably not a tangible. If they're ignoring your call, it's not a tangible. A lot of times it's not sensory if they're ignoring your call, although if they missed it, Like I said, that happens a very rare chance. Or they were overwhelmed. At that point, you should teach them call timeout. And that's the best thing. That's why you can say they never miss the sign. Because if you're confused, you teach them call timeout, come talk to me, okay? So summing this up and finishing this up, I would say the best solution for this is to return that behavior and ignore them right back, okay? Ignore them right back. They just left the runner hanging out to dry. That stole second. Who knows if they're out or safe, okay? I would ignore it, maybe address it after the game, but maybe not, okay? And you can, and I'm not saying hold a grudge, okay? I'm not saying hold a grudge, but see what happens the next time that you call a sign. And I'm not saying bench them, okay? Unless you already have a rule. If you have a rule when they first signed up that says if you miss one sign, you're on the bench, then meet that expectation, okay? And that's a whole nother topic, and maybe I'll get into that next time about the rules, okay? Anyways, very good live. Thank you so much for those that were coming. And a little bit about me, I do like to end with a little bit about that. Like I was saying earlier, I also am in the mortgage business. It's very difficult to coach sports at the beginning and also make a decent living, but you can make a good living by giving private lessons, and people are making up to $60 to $80 per lesson per kid. So, and it's not that you're ripping people off because, and I'll tell you a quick story. I have a good friend of mine that she is into music, and now she teaches at Pinecrest. It's a very nice school down in South Miami. It's near the University of Miami, and she, I'll always remember the story because she applied to go to Juilliard for college. She ended up going somewhere in Savannah, but she applied to go to Juilliard because she's a very great singer and musician. Her credentials were just like, I mean, she couldn't get any better, but she was missing one thing, and she was rejected from Juilliard because she didn't have one-on-one private lessons with someone teaching her how to sing. So that one little thing stopped her from going to Juilliard. She had everything else done, and that's such a small thing. Her parents were very disappointed in themselves that they didn't know that that's what it took to get into that school. So that was devastating for her at the time. Welcome, Jessup 085. We're talking about, this is just the end. I'm talking a little bit about myself. But that was sad for her. So that's the importance and how much someone can get out of having a one-on-one mentor or a one-on-one teacher or coach. And that's why it costs, almost $100 an hour, okay? So because it does make a big difference very quick, okay? So thank you so much, and let me know if I can do anything different or you like this a lot. And I do follow people back, so very good, and thank you so much. Okay, how do I end this? Okay. Oh my god. If you are watching, bear with me. Because I'm getting my light. I just got a new light. Oh. And of course. You want your batter hit to the shortstop, okay? And what do you think? Before I even go there, what do you think? Hi, gorgeous. And then lastly, you want your batter, the person that just hit, keep running all the way to third, okay? Batter. My baby love. I can't say that. Let's go down to the next. Has anyone heard this methodology, the four functions of behavior? If you have, or try to guess one. Remember, if you're any kind of a boss or a manager, you're dealing with people that are doing the same thing. They're ignoring your directions. Okay? So get people to listen and solve the problem, move on to the next thing. Because there's always going to be a next problem, a next thing to solve, another play, etc. Okay? So with knowing why people are behaving a certain way, we can eliminate those behaviors, okay? Let me real quick check out my YouTube. Oh, shit, it's not live on YouTube.